Hello, everyone. We're just about to begin. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes for everyone to arrive. We'll just give it 2 more minutes. If you're just arriving, we're going to give it just a couple more minutes. I see some more attendees coming in. All right, I think we have it. And welcome to another exciting Crew Control Office Hours. I'll go ahead and get this started. I'll be your only presenter today. Kelsey's out just with internet issues, so I'll be fielding all your questions. And I'll give you a rundown of how this office hours works. And so I'm Scott Kavanaugh, product manager here at Crew Control. I help with a lot of the development and maintenance of our system, our solution. And I'm here to kind of explain what we've been up to. So just a quick reminder, with our office hours, all questions will be our Zoom question and answer. I'll field those. No one else will be able to see those. We'll share this recording 24 hours after the webinar to all of our registrants and anyone attended here today. You can keep up with the latest updates with Crew Control and any other information, and as well as these office hours. Those get sent out monthly. All right. So for our agenda today, some new feature updates that we've added since we've last had office hours 2 months ago. Some updates to our scheduling. Whenever you add jobs, you can add billing details that now support discounts by percent. You can adjust man hours on a particular visit of a recurring maintenance job. We support clickable URLs in all of our notes now, so that's going to be really helpful for your crews, customers, and your internal notes. Our sales dashboard, proposal payment method options are available now. You can choose whether to accept a credit card or ACH for deposits and for payment method on file. You're now able to edit accepted and rejected proposals. This is a big one we've heard a lot of requests for. I will cover that. And then as far as the crew schedule application, so this is dispatch schedules or mobile applications to your technicians and crew leads. We now offer job invoice history, and on-site estimates defaults, so based on the job. And so that's going to help more of our technician-based services, and we'll walk through that. And then we We highlighted job worksheets the last time we discussed, and that's fully released, fully available, and we're going to cover end to end how that works and how that can be used. So it's a very powerful new capability of crew control. We spent a lot of time on it. We've pulled a lot of our clients in on that effort of just understanding what they need and making sure we can match that. Once we get through all that, we'll open up for question and answer. So I'll just field anything that you all post in chat or the Q&A, and I'll do my best to type and talk and go through our demo environment on just any basic troubleshooting or help guidance questions there. All right, so let's dive right in, and I'm going to switch my screen here, and so give me a moment. And let me pull up my notes on what we need to cover here. Okay, so first up, let's just talk through our scheduling enhancements that we've made. So job billing details, whenever you add a job, recurring job, single job, multiple jobs, we now support billing information with a discount percent. So that was really kind of a pain point with some customers having to have to calculate the discount amount on their jobs and then have to do that again when invoicing. So just kind of an ease of use, streamline those discounts right on the job and make it just easier to bill. So that'll just flow right through to the invoice when you create that invoice. So just want to highlight that. Next up, being able to set man hours in a specific visit. So typically we see this with recurring maintenance, whether that's cleaning, whether that's mowing, and you perform another service. So say you're doing a mowing and you need to do a spring cleanup with this visit. We're going to allow you to edit visit details. So that'll allow you to edit that specific visit without updating the recurring visit. I believe we discussed adding a specific service category for that visit last time, but that's still in play. So I would add a spring cleanup. If you're a cleaning industry, maybe it's a basement cleaning on top of a house cleaning. And then you can also specify the man hours for the particular visit. And so that's going to update this visit. And then you can see on the recurring job, it's still going to have my original man hours for and not have that additional service that I'm providing. So it's going to be really helpful for any time you are providing other services with a recurring maintenance or recurring job. Right. Clickable notes. So you can see here, I've added a full URL on my admin notes for this job, but throughout our system, whether that's an opportunity note and you want that on the opportunity on the sales dashboard, you can have a clickable link to any diagrams, any information or documents you need to access very quickly from another system, or just background vendor and pricing information. You can do a lot with that. So you will have to specify that full URL. These are going to be clickable links. I'll be able to show you here in a minute too that this will show up to the crew. So if it's information for that for your crew out in the field, you can add that link as instructions, and they'll be able to click to access that website or that shared folder. There's a lot of creative ways you can utilize this. So all throughout crew control, so whether that's customer notes, location, additional property and location notes, opportunities, proposals, and jobs. So all of those have been updated to handle clickable hyperlinks. So going to be a nice, powerful, crafty way for you guys to be able to use that. All right, so let's cover our sales improvements. These are part of our Plus plan and electronic proposals. So this is your lead generation, your lead dashboard and your management, as well as your bids and offers sent out to customers. So let's talk about when I'm creating a new proposal. Whenever I have a deposit assigned, I now have the option to collect that deposit by a credit card or ACH. So you can kind of choose what works best for that project or what works best for the offer that you're making out to your customers. So same with whenever you set a requirement to have a payment method captured. or optional, you'll be able to configure how you want that stored. So it's a nice new enhancement, gives you just a little bit more flexibility on what you'd like to collect there. So a big one is edit accepted and rejected proposals. So we can see this one has been accepted and scheduled out. So this proposal for Christine here, I'm able to edit that I'm gonna kind of show you how this works. So when I view this proposal, it has been accepted by the customer. I can now edit that proposal. And I'll get this warning up here that anytime I edit this estimate, anytime I edit it, it'll void that acceptance. So if I make a change, I've adjusted the amounts or any of the details, it's going to remove that acceptance. So let's just say they wanted a quantity of 2, and I hit save. And so I'm getting a double confirmation that I'm going to void that captured acceptance, hit OK. And it's an old estimate, so I'm going to pop it up to the future here, and then now I can save this. And I saved it. And so now it goes back to that pending state. I can resend it to that customer. Again, you can send it by email or text, and gather that acceptance again. So that's just really helpful for those situations where you need to just make a minor adjustment for an existing offer that was previously accepted. Once it's sent out to the customer, they'll be able to view it and accept it just like they could before. And that deposit will change. One limitation is we won't be able to let you edit a proposal that has been accepted with a paid deposit, just because we don't have an easy way to change those amounts or make those adjustments. So that is going to be a limitation we put in place, but let us know if you encounter that. All right, so that covers our sales enhancements that we've worked on this past month. Let's move on to our crew schedule, either dispatch schedule or mobile application enhancements. And so I'll go back to this week here. All right, so when I log into the mobile application, I can now access a customer's invoice history. And this is typically for technician-based work. We see it with irrigation. We see it with any of our tech industries collecting invoice on site. So when I access that job, I'll have and I have rights to invoice. I'll be able to see invoice history as well. So I'm going to access Sarah Polk's invoice history, and then this will give me a long list of previous invoices that I can either view and kind of understand what we've billed before in the past. I can also collect payment for anything that was unpaid for a previous service on the spot there, just like I would if I was invoicing that job. So really nice enhancement both for just historical information as you're working a job, but also to help you collect payment if it wasn't taken previously. All right, and then next up for the crew schedule enhancements, we have updated our on-site estimate, so another technician-based capability. Previously, if you had, let's say this is an estimate that's scheduled, I'm coming out to perform an estimate, the admins can add line items to that job. And previously we weren't defaulting that in. So now this just gives a better streamlined solution for on-site estimating. So any information, billing details you provide on that job that's either an assessment or an estimate will automatically default as I begin that estimate out in the field. So default onto my estimate, and that kind of help kickstart that estimate with if you just understand what kind of services are going to be provided, what kind of parts are going to be needed. It'll just kickstart that so your technician doesn't have to spend a whole lot of time adding and modifying an estimate. Just gives them a little bit a more streamlined process there. So another solution that can be really crafty when you schedule estimates out as jobs in crew control. All right, and then finally, job worksheets. It is, I would say, more of a crew-based enhancement. So a crew lead or technician, more geared toward our technician related services. That will allow, so we'll cover this. It's big. We're gonna go all areas. You'll be able to create custom forms, much like checklists or custom questions we have in Crew Control today. But you can provide steps, deeper question types, photos, paragraph question answers, checklists. You could rerun these steps over multiple times for different systems, different yards. So it's going to be pretty advanced capability, and it's pretty cool to see. So we'll cover that here now. The way you get started here is we go to settings, job worksheets, and we create a worksheet. And again, this is a cross-industry solution. So we're seeing it heavily with our HVAC clients. Needed this as kind of was a one that we've heard initially through HVAC, but we're seeing it used across the board. So we're seeing it for irrigation inspections. Just due to seasonality, we're seeing a lot of this used for service reports for snow related services. Pool and spa clients that we have are using this for chemical tracking and maintenance related both checklists, but also reports sent back out to the customer. So we'll cover this. It's not for everyone. It's not for every service. It's usually for kind of a more your higher level services that you offer. So a little bit more technician related. So I kind of show you a pool maintenance one that deals with more chemical treatments. So this will have a drop down question to my technician of what was tested for that chemical treatment, whether it was in a good state or not and needed adjustments. Allows me to provide a question of what was applied during that treatment, drop down question of what the condition is of the equipment that's there, any notes on the equipment, upload any photos of the equipment, and then a paragraph of observations. So very useful for all sorts of things, especially if you're doing installs of site inspections before you do the work and after you completed the work. Really powerful feature there. And I'll show a more generic worksheet here where we're just going to have a site inspection. So pre-site inspection of photos, so documenting what was there before we perform the work. A couple checks. This kind of shows amounts used, so more material tracking aspect to this report, upload of files after I've completed that service, and work summary. So again, very similar to checklists, but this is going to just be more advanced and more comprehensive for your technicians out in the field. And we typically see these for more comprehensive types of services. So once this form has been completed by your team out in the fields, you can finalize this and send it off as a report back to the customer or attach it to an invoice. Okay. See questions coming in. I will answer those. Not right now, but I will get some of that at the end, and I will cover that through here too as well. Um, all right. So I've got two worksheets created. I went ahead and any type of job, I went ahead and added to my estimate, I believe. Let's just double check here. I'm going to do a basic inspection for this estimate. The way this works, you can attach it to any job worksheets to any job types. If you're rerunning that worksheet again, let's say like if you're dealing with a front and backyard and you need to do different types of work, you can rerun the same inspection, just give it a different name. Same with the pool, like if you're doing an outdoor and an indoor pool. If you're dealing more or larger commercial businesses, you might need to run the same report. Same with the HVAC. If you're dealing with different systems, you can run that report several times, that worksheet several times, and build different reports for what was performed. So I'm just gonna add one worksheet for my crew lead, my technician out in the field. And then from their side, so if we go back to the app here, and I'll just go full mode here. I'll be able to access this worksheet. So I'll start my job service. Just like checklists, I'm gonna be able to access this worksheet and perform my steps out in the field. All of these are gonna be required. I've set them as required. Let's go to downloads here. Oops. And we'll just put a tree. So nice upload of a tree here. Perform step one, step two, 3. I applied, 30 bags of something out here. And then I completed my service. Gonna add another tree for this, and then I provide, a detail of what was performed. Added mulch in the front and backyards, and then I'll complete this worksheet. So again, all steps I've got set up on this worksheet are required. I'm going to have to be able to complete all steps in order to complete this worksheet and complete that job. Once the job is complete, I'll stop it, complete, and then back on the admin side, I'll be able to access that completion info. I'll be able to see the worksheet, make modifications, and send this worksheet out via email to my customer. Here's a view of what they would see when they receive that report, so you can inspect that, the details that would be provided. And so you can see the questions, the answer, the location, when that job was performed, the photos I uploaded, the steps, amounts used. So a lot of information and details that can be provided, sent out as a report to customers where they can print it. You can access that from either that job card on the calendar or the completed history here. You can view and send, modify these worksheets. We covered this last time, but this was another area that we covered all this last office hours. We've also recently enhanced our billing in invoicing to allow you to attach worksheets. So if completed this work now, here on the calendar, should now be available to be invoiced. Let me just find Scott Smith here. So when I create an invoice, I'll scroll on down, and I'll be able to access and include my worksheet as part of an invoice. Here I can, again, finalize, inspect all of the information that my technician provided, make adjustments to make it more customer friendly, and just complete it here. Again, you can view it before it's attached, and then hopefully everything in repair, $150, email it out. And I'll just go ahead and email this. Oh, add my payment options, email this out. Yep, so here it is. And so when I view this invoice, I'm going to be able to see any service reports that were attached to it as a customer, and I can access and download them just like we did if we were sending them off from the job. And that's pretty much everything on job worksheets. Let me know if you have questions. It's a lot. You can get really crafty with this. They could be used for just basic checklists that run different types of checks. You can make modifications as needed too. But very powerful capability that's going to be useful for a wide variety of topics. So really excited to see what you all do with it. All right, so with that, I could change it back to a slide deck that says question and answers, but we are moving on to the question and answer part of office hours. I do see a question that came in and a chat came in. Where can we access the recording afterwards? It will be sent back out to the email that you registered, so you'll be able to access that. It's also uploaded to Aspire's YouTube channel, so you can access it there, and it'll be I think those are the couple ways that you'll get it. So email directly after the 24 hours after this, and it's also it'll be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Okay, so another question we've got in the sales area. Once a proposal is accepted and the deposit is paid, what are the next steps? So it shows as an unpaid bill or what is the next step? So it shows as an unpaid bill or an invoice for balance. Yeah, I can walk through that real quick. So on our sales dashboard here, I've created a proposal. Let's work with an existing one here. It's a little old. Let me make sure everything's good there. Let's do one that just has a deposit, not a payment method on file. So we'll look at John Doe here. Well, let's just check it out. 11. 11.7. Let me see if I can edit this real quick. Just bump it up to be something that's current active. All right, so when I view it, hasn't been accepted yet. I've sent it off to the customer. They'll accept, double confirm, and as they accept, this is when an invoice is created. So behind the scenes in open invoices, there will be an invoice now for that deposit amount for $750 back in billing open invoices. So if they are collecting, if you're collecting payment online through credit card, ACH, you'll have that option to collect that. If they did pass you a check, you can go to open invoices, find that deposit. I'll just double check this is that 750 deposit here. Yeah, you can see that that's the deposit invoice. So you can go to open invoices, access that deposit, and add payment if you've received it other ways. Hopefully that answers that question, but let me know. Let me know if that didn't. Okay, can we have the ability to add worksheets onto job cards when they're in process? That's a good question. I believe you can. So let me go ahead and just double check that. I think for one-time jobs, you can. Recurring jobs, there might be a limitation right now. And I know we have an issue that we're fixing that was around that. So let me just double check. And we'll just make this one something we should be supporting. So I'll just double check that. So this is an active job now. Edit recurring job. And then we'll add a worksheet for basic inspection, hit save. And that should be there. So let's just double check when I edit recurring job. It's still there. So it should still be there for active. Let us know if you have any questions because that could be an issue. I know we've had some when this went live, some issues just trying to manage like when that worksheet when worksheets are in progress to not uh, not break them and allow you to make adjustments for future recurring services. So let us know if that's a problem, but it should be a capability we offer. But brand new feature, so we could hit some bumps. What's the best way to add late fees to invoices? Great question. So we don't have any automated late fee capabilities, so I'll note that as something that we have interest in. But from open invoices, you'll be able to access the due date, your last sent date, last view date, and those are really powerful tools to let you know like when you've sent it, when it's due, when it's last seen. If you have an outstanding invoice that needs a late fee, you can modify that and just edit that invoice, add that fee. That's what I would recommend for now. We do have invoice reminders to help nudge your customers to make payment, and especially when it's starting to be past due, I'd recommend putting those on as well. But we don't do any automated adding of late fees just yet. But I'll note that, um, and you can inform your customer with either one of these reminders or late fee reminder or invoice due reminders that a late fee will be coming. You could also update it and resend it out directly. So nothing automated, but that's how I would recommend doing it. Asking about the balance when the customer's already paid. Okay, so this is back to the deposit question. So how do we collect the final remainder of a proposal that had a deposit paid? And so I'll go back to here. So um, let's see. So we'll go and collect John Doe's payment, deposit payment here. So I will say this is cash check, $750, save. So my John Doe deposit has been paid for this work, for this proposal. Now it's ready to schedule. And so the way this works is you'll schedule jobs from that proposal and it'll be linked to that deposits credit. So that's how we manage that linking, manage that balance. So it'd be based on the jobs tied to the proposals, how how that would work. And I'll show you how this worked for a single job. So you might be dealing with more a larger project. I recommend this option. Recurring jobs, we don't default that billing details in from the proposal just because you could have varying frequencies there. You have a lump sum for the offer, but you need to break them down into individual um, invoices. So we'll do this for a single job here, just make this easy. I'll schedule it out for today. But this is going to be the work that will be performed for single jobs. That installation was added from that accepted proposal, so it's defaulted in. I'll hit save. I won't archive this just for now in case we need it. And then this will be the work that needs to be completed. So I'll complete this service. Go to invoice it. Now, when I invoice it, it'll be for that full amount, but I'll have that $750 prepaid credit. So as far as what your customers will see, they'll be able to see that when and I'll just print it, make it easier here. I'll send it. So your customers will see the, let me find that. John Doe. Did I do something funny? Prepaid, okay. I see, but this is it. Yeah, that was it. So that's that. This is the final invoice. That was for the $750. Sorry, I got confused there. I was looking for $1,500, but it's been reduced by that prepaid deposit, 50% down. So your customers see this kind of breakdown what's due for that final invoice, and then the other thing that they see is on the deposit itself, they'll have the, if you go and view that proposal, um, they'll have an understanding of that breakdown too, what they need to pay at balance completion, at job completion. All right, I hope that answered questions. If you still have any, feel free to ask them and I can cover them. Just give a little time. I don't see anything else coming in. Okay, I'll double check our time here. I think we're at time. So I appreciate it. Again, if you ever need immediate assistance or help or guidance, question mark, contact support. If you're seeing a limitation of the product or have an idea of enhancement you'd like to see, question mark, request a feature, and that gets to my team. So I appreciate y'all, and thanks for coming today, and we'll see you in 2 months. Have a great evening.